How you going? Stay off grid here. Well, I've had a bad day or a bad night. Over the last couple of weeks, or the last week at least, my generator, during the day, because it's winter, we haven't had much. Firstly, it's been overcast and the sun just doesn't stay up enough, because if you look over here, those trees straight ahead, the sun comes up behind those trees, it gets to about where you can see the brightest part there, and then it goes down again. So it's just not much sun, and my battery hasn't been charging fully. It's been getting to 60% sometimes, or just really low. And what's been happening is every night it drains down, and then at about maybe 6 in the morning the generator comes on, and that's been happening every day. And the only way I can fix that is to put more panels. So the panels aren't getting much sun, but if you had more panels, you'd make more power. So that's the only way I can do it. But I haven't done that yet, and I've got nowhere to. I'd have to make a big frame for the panels. I was just going to wait till I got the big shed, but that might be a year away. So, you learn these things anyway. This is what's happened in winter. Now, no problem. That's what the generator's for. Except the generator died. Well, it's been falling apart for the last couple of weeks. It's only 2.5 months old. These have just deteriorated and cracked up and fallen off. Now they have left an exposed outlet, and I'm just plugging into that, and I've put a bit of tape over there. I've taken it off now, but I had a bit of tape over there just to stop water from getting in there. Now, this here undid as well, and that was just hanging out. I've fixed that. Now the generator, when it stopped, I was trying to get it to go, and I noticed that the switch was off, and I didn't know why it was off. So I turned the switch on and pressed the switch in, and it just fell back out to the off position. And I had to do something quickly because I needed to get it going again. So I cut this plastic so that I could, because I tried to tape the switch in but it's got a clear rubber on the outside of it, so that didn't work. So I cut that plastic, or the rubber, and I was going to tape the switch in. The switch just fell out, and with all the contacts, I'll show you here in my pocket. So there's the switch, and it's got little pins that push on these contacts in the middle, and then they make it or break the contact depending on which way you press it. So that all just fell out. I thought I'd fixed it, I'd actually got it going, but then it didn't come on last night, and I heard the system clicking on and off, and it was trying to turn it on at about, I think it was about 10 o'clock. So I got up and I ended up towing this generator because it's bloody heavy. But I put the winch on it, and so that lifted up, and then it was just on the back wheels. And I took it over into the container, and I pulled it apart. I pulled this front cover off, pulled this back cover off, popped these rubbers out here so I could get in there. I am an electrician, but there's a whole lot of wiring in there and a whole lot of things that I don't know what they are. If I'm going to trace it all, it's going to take me a good day to do that, and it didn't help me last night. There was nothing on this contact. There was one on that contact, one on the contact behind it, one on that contact, and one on that contact. Now, so that's, if it's switched across these two and these two, that's the on position. So what I did was I got those wires and I just hardwired them, put a bit of wire into their little plugs, and a wire into the plug there on that one, and on this one here, which theoretically should have made it work, but it didn't. So to point all this and make a diagram for it, to then work out what I've got to do to get it going, because I want to try it. What I will do is just get rid of all the electronics and just make it, you turn it on, not that it's going to be it won't be automatic start, it'll just be turn it on, power, charge your battery, and then turn it off. But it's going to take me a bit of time to do that. It's a whole day in that. So you know, it's not a quick fix. So I ended up turning all the power off other than the incubator, and then in the morning I was at about 20%, and I've been at 20% all day. It's just maintained 20%, but what am I going to do with it? I can't send anything anywhere. There's no couriers where I'm at to send something back, and I've pulled it apart. So I'm going to send them an email and say, well, look, this happened, that happened, and we'll see what happens. But I doubt I've probably voided warranty by pulling it apart. I could say that I didn't pull it apart, but I still cut that plastic off. So, but what are you going to do? The thing stopped, and the button kept going in the off position. I had to put it in the on position. What are you supposed to do? I'm on a property. It's a backup bloody generator. Anyway, so worst case scenario, today I'm at 20%, and which is virtually shut off time. And I'm maintaining that all day, but then once the sun goes down, actually probably by about 3 o'clock, that 20% is going to start going down. So I've virtually got to turn everything off and hope for sun tomorrow. Without a generator, I can't let that battery go less than 20% or it won't start up again. I've ordered another generator now because I just thought, well, I've just got to do it. You know, I can't sit back and go, oh, we'll see what happens about that one. Is it going to get fixed? I just had to get on the internet and buy another one. Now that one was $2,100. It's lasted 2.5 months. A lot of them are $4,000, but they probably last a lot longer. I've found one for, I think in the end it cost me $1,800, and I'll give it a go. And it's a lot smaller and hasn't got as big a fuel tank. It's got 27 litres, the other one's got 40 litres. But I just didn't want to spend $4 grand on it, and I'm going to try the $1,800 one. You'd think if you've once bidden, twice shy, but well, if that other one, I'm going to get that. I'll get that going in the meantime. However, I've got to do it. If I have to totally rewire it so that it's, you know, I'm getting rid of some of the features of it, but I'm just using it as a backup generator. All it does is switches on, creates power. Then we'll see how this other one goes. If it stops, it's not as big, I can send that one back if I drive somewhere where there's a courier. All right. Well, good news. As you can hear, I fiddled around with the generator. I thought I'm going to hit it, no holds barred. I'm just going to do whatever I've got to do to get it going, and it's going. So all I need to do now is go get some more fuel and run that for, I don't know, 6 hours or something, whatever it takes to get that battery full, and I can go and turn the fridge on. I can just relax now. So I have ordered the new generator. This one's going to have to somehow get sent back to them because it's just fallen apart, and I've had to bodgy it up to get it to go. So at least I'll have another one in replace, or if they don't take it back, I'll have a spare, whatever. So I've spent, you know, 3.5 grand on 2 generators. I could have bought the 4 grand one that's better, a Honda or something that would have actually lasted. But anyway, you learn from your mistakes. Now, the last job I had was as a service engineer in the food industry, installing and maintaining and fixing automated food systems like X-ray systems and machines that cut food up. And what I find is sometimes you're trying to fix something and you have the answer in your head. You go, all right, yeah, I know what to do, but you do it and it doesn't work, and you think that should have worked. So then you try to do something else and that doesn't work. You try to do something else and that doesn't work, and then you go, I'm going to try the first thing again, and it works. Why does it work? It didn't work the first time, and you can't work out why it didn't work the first time, and you knew it should have worked because in your head or on the drawing you've drawn it's going to work, but it doesn't. You try it again later, 2 hours later, and it works. Well, the first thing I did on this generator was that I took that little switch and all the little contacts, and I put the generator on its side so it was facing, so the contacts, where the contacts were going to sit, were facing horizontal. I dropped the contacts back in I pushed the switch down on it. I then gaffer taped the switch on, and I thought that'll work because that's all that's wrong. The switch is, that's the only problem that's wrong with it. But it didn't work. So I tried. So then I had to pull the, I pulled the generator into the container where there was light to try and fix it, and it didn't work. So whatever I did the next time by just hardwiring those wires didn't work. So I was baffled as to why it didn't work, because that's what the problem was. Why doesn't it fix it? So what do you reckon I've done now? Now you're not going to be able to hear me down here, but I'll show you what I did with the switch. Well, I could just tell you, I did exactly what I did the first time. I put the little contacts back in and gaffer taped the switch to it. The green light come on. Why didn't it work the first time? Anyway, so I guess now what I have to decide is, do I I've ordered that generator, the new one, online on a Saturday. It's Sunday today. Monday morning, do I email them or ring them and say, and cancel it, because it's running again and that should fix it? But do I want to back up one just in case? That's what I've got to decide. I'm Stay Off Grid. Have a nice day.